Welcome back to the Legal Vibe. I'm your mentor Pari Luthra and I'm here to talk to you about the Reading Comprehension Section in CLAT 2026 and be it in any other CLAT exam in any given year. Firstly, Reading Comprehension Section के साथ ये myth होती है कि it is gonna be the easiest section and since हम बचपन से Reading Comprehension करते आ रहे हैं in our respective schools, तो हमें लगता है कि this is something that we can clearly ace. But once we look at the paper and once we start giving mocks or solving sectionals, we figure out that this is not how it is supposed to be and this is very different from what we used to do in school. So the same happened to me and that's why मेरा RC में score काफी low रहता था when I started preparing and I'm going to give you all the tips and tricks, all the strategies that I used to get a final 20 plus score in my actual CLAT exam in the RC section. And without any further ado, let's get started into this video. So, let's talk about what the RC section actually is. So, reading comprehension, or popularly known as the English section, contains 24 questions as it has done in 2024 and 2025. So, that is what we are anticipating. But also, given the pattern, it can range from 22 to 26 questions in the section. And now coming to the passages and how the passages actually are. So, English में historically, as we have analyzed throughout the papers, fiction, non-fiction and contemporary events पे focus करा जाता है and इन्हीं पे based passages होते हैं that are around 400 words each and not very difficult passages but non-fiction and fiction is something that can be seemingly difficult for people and these can range from a variety of genres. So all of that is something that you have to focus on and that is where you need diversified reading. Now we'll discuss स्टेप बाय स्टेप कि पहले पैसेज के साथ हमें क्या करना है व्हेन वी आर रीडिंग द पैसेज, एवरीथिंग दैट वी नीड टू डिड्यूस फ्रॉम द पैसेज एंड देन what questions should we expect and how to solve each and every type of question. That is what we are going to discuss next. But before we do that, I bring you something really important and exciting since you all will start your preparation or might have started with it but are still confused what way to go. Here is a batch from Physics Wala, PW CLAT. And the batch that I'm talking about today is the CLAT Achievers 2026 batch by Physics Wala, PW CLAT. And this batch is specially designed for the students who are in 12th right now and the students who have taken a drop for CLAT 2026 exam. And now let's talk about what this batch actually entails for you guys. So it has 300 plus hours of live lectures and 200 plus daily practice problems. It has 30 mock tests for CLAT and ALET and it has a 7,000 plus questions worth of question bank. And this batch was originally priced at 19,999 and now this batch is available only at 9,999. Plus if you use our coupon code that is LEGAL, LEGAL, you get an extra 500 rupees off. And not just this batch, let's talk about another batch because you should always have backups in life and this is a batch that gives you CLAT, ALET and 7 other OLETs that are other law entrance tests and this batch is none other than the CLAT Pro 2026 batch. And now let's talk about what this batch actually entails for you guys. In this batch you're going to get 800 plus DPPs, 50 plus full length mock tests, 10 modules in the hard copy and a book that will contain PYQs from the previous 6 years and also a Khazana package. And what do you mean by Khazana package? It is a set of the best lectures from the CLAT 25 and 2026 Zenith batches. So, and this batch was originally priced at 29,999 and now this batch is available for almost half the price, 14,999. And also again with this batch, if you use our coupon code that is LEGAL, LEGAL, you're going to get an extra 500 rupees off. So these are the batches and go enroll as soon as possible. This bumper offer is limited and without any further ado, now let's get on to how to look at the passages and to solve the questions. Firstly, let's talk about what to do with the passage and then we'll discuss how to go to the questions and to solve each type of questions. So generally, जब भी हम passage को go through करते हैं, पहले please open the section and go through all the passages within like take a very quick glance and that is when you understand कि कौन से तरह के passages आए हैं, either it's fiction, non-fiction, or it is about contemporary issues, or it is any other given passage under the cloud. So basically, when you look through all of that, there are strengths and weaknesses that every aspirant has. Some aspirants find it very difficult to solve fiction-based passages, like I used to, even though I was an ardent reader, but these passages always gave me a problem. So once you do that and you realize that what passages are easy for you to solve, please go for the easy passage first, because that boosts your confidence. And now once you've reached the easy passage, please once have a glance at what questions are given and what exactly is that passage demanding from you. Here, what I want you to know is that, is there any specific section of that passage that is being targeted in the questions? Like, is there a statement based question that is coming from just one statement that is somewhere inside the passage, so that you always keep that in mind while you are reading the passage? And also, if there is a question based on the tone of the passage, or is there any question where you need to infer any meaning of a word in the given context? So when you'll know all these details, this is something that you'll carry with you when you'll read the passage, and you'll focus only on the main points. And even if there would be other stuff that would trouble you throughout the passage, that wouldn't really matter, because everything that is there in the question that you actually need to solve, you already have that in mind. This is what you do when you reach the passage. Now, when you actually start reading the passage, firstly, please do not make this mistake. Please do not skim through the passage, because you've already taken a glance. You know what that passage is about. Now, please do not skim through it, because there are tiny details that if you miss, you're going to face troubles. So please, and I mean, that is not advisable in given any section. Do not skim through any passages, please, in any given section. But फिर भी थोड़ा बहुत you can do it in legal, since if you know the legal principles. Otherwise, please do not do it in English or even in CR. Now, read through the passage, read through it thoroughly. Please mark through the passages, and you know the controversy that happened with CLAT 25 exam, that you cannot really mark in the question booklet, but that rule was withdrawn and it is bound to stay that way. So please mark through all the important points, all the important lines, and please do not do excessive marking so that you get confused. Now, when you move towards the question, we'll talk about each and every type of question that has ever appeared or that can appear in your exam, and how do you solve each of them. So firstly is the main idea of the passage. And now, what do we mean by the main idea? The main idea is basically an overview. It's everything the author has talked about given in one simple statement. You can also call it conclusion, but conclusion in the RC is very very different, जो हम general terms में कहते हैं. So RC में conclusion क्या होता है कि basically it is the ending line, the final line of the passage. Like if I'm telling you a story and that story ends with maybe the hare and the tortoise, and the tortoise wins the race, so that is the actual conclusion. And the main idea of the passage here in the hare and the tortoise was that slow and steady wins the race. That is like the moral of the story basically. So this is how you talk about main idea and conclusion. And now when we go to idioms, phrases, or inferring the meanings basically, so this is something that you need to do based on the context of the passage. Like जब हम vocabulary की बात करते हैं, तो हमें word power made easy या ऐसी कोई भी sources को शुरू से refer करना शुरू नहीं करना चाहिए. Reason being, पहली चीज तो vocabulary ऐसी चीज है जिसके questions generally कम आते हैं. अब obviously आपके जो previous year का paper है, which is CLAT 2025, उसमें हर passage में आ गया था vocab का question, but everything was based on interpretive vocabulary. तो आप while you read the passage, you can easily infer the meanings, and students ने वही करा है throughout it. Nobody actually remembered the meanings from like any previous source that they had studied from. बस हमें passage read करते समय, in whatever context the word is, we need to learn that skill. So that comes with practice. When you read through something and then you derive the meaning of the word from the given context. So this is about idioms, phrases, and vocabulary questions. Now there can be questions which are statement based, which are completely based on what is given in the passage. So that is something that you need to have a quick memory on. Basically हमें पता होना चाहिए that in which corner of the passage is that specific statement mentioned. पहली बात तो अगर आपने overview ले लिया है, glance ले लिया है, तो आपको obviously पता होगा और आपने mark कर दिया होगा उस specific line को, क्योंकि आपने question पहले देख लिया था. But even if not, even if you are in a hurry, so this is something that you should have like a little quick memory from, and this also comes from practice, कि आपको पता होगा कि exactly passage में कहाँ पे वो line दी हुई है, and you can quickly refer to the line and then you can come back and match with the options. This is something that is the easiest types of questions. Now, there are hardly questions where you need to argue with the author or you need to negate what the author is saying, but there can be questions wherein it is asked that which of these is not the author's contention, which of these is something that the author has not talked about or maybe the author does not support. So in that case, you use the elimination method. You basically tick off all the points that the author has talked about, then the only option that you're left with is something that the author had not talked about. So that is how you solve those type of questions. Now when you come to the tone of the passage question, so this is something very, very important, and this is something I learned from one of my seniors. So what she used to do is that whether there was any tone question given in any certain passage, so we read through the question, right? Like I told you before, you take an overview of all the questions. If you spot a question of tone of the passage, then you read the options as well. When the options are clearly ingrained in your mind while reading the passage, you're easily going to figure out that what is the tone of the passage. And the tone is something that the author is trying to talk in. Okay. So whatever is the tone of the author is basically translates into the tone of the passage, and that is how you identify it, that you read through all the words initially, and while reading the passage it basically clicks with you. And this is about all the type of questions. If there is any query, please feel free to comment or to DM me on Insta. I am @Pari by default on Instagram. You can always come and DM. And also I'm taking mentorship for CLAT 2026, which will be a full-length program, and it will be based on monthly enrollment. So this is something that you can come and talk to me about. You can always DM me, hit me up on Instagram, or you can just comment below. And that's it for this video. I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope this is something that you're gonna carry with you, and it will help you score the highest in the RC section. And I'll see you with another video. Also there is an announcement. Sorry. There is an announcement. I'm coming up with a Sem 1 Wrapped series. This will be a 3-video series wherein I'll talk about whatever happened throughout the semester 1 at Nalsar. And these are exclusive stories because I've never talked about them online, and this is the first time I'm putting it out. These stories have never appeared in my vlogs or any of my videos. So please do not miss this series. I'm promising you're going to enjoy my storytelling a lot. I know I yap a lot, but again, you're going to enjoy it. So stay tuned for that, and I'll see you in the upcoming videos. Bye. Take care.